Hey, if you want to know more about the psychological blocks that stop or slow down business owners from building successful, profitable businesses that run independently of them, then you're going to want to watch this week's show. Now, why would you want a business that ran independently of you? Well, you can have a lot more free time to do the things you love with the people you love. As an example, for many years, I would travel 3 to 4 months of a year with a surfboard and my family all around the world while my businesses ran without me, and it gave me an incredible lifestyle. Now, it's fairly easy, to be honest, to implement the strategies required to build a business that runs independently of you. And that's got a lot to do with the way you build out your systems manuals, and how you build your team out, how you automate all your marketing so that it's working without you 24 hours a day. So the strategies are fairly simple, and we run a really incredible program called the Ignite Business Mastery program, where we help our clients achieve that outcome by giving them these good quality strategies, by working with them closely to build their businesses so that the businesses run independently of them. We take them through 3 stages. The first one is technician stage, which is what most business owners are in. In technician stage, you're working in your business, doing too many of the wrong activities. You're stressed. You are just got too much to do, and you've got so much to do, you're not doing things really well. Now, typically at this point, a business owner has built some success in their business, meaning that they've got some decent cash flow, but they're built into the business and they have no time. This is where they start to lead to burnout. And they become the roadblock in the business because they have to do everything. And if they've got team, which most of our clients do, the team have to come to them to ask them, well, what do I do now? Or how do I do this? So the business owner is actually a roadblock to growth. So the first thing that we need to do is to shift them into the conductor stage. In the conductor stage, they're no longer operating solely as a resource in their business, because if you're a resource in your business, you're needed all the time for money to be made in your business. And we start to move them to conductor stage, where they are controlling and allocating resources. And at this point, they're starting to think more strategically. They've got more time away from their business to actually build a real business, build out systems, put in team, improve their marketing, improve their profitability. And at this point, they become less of a roadblock. And then finally, the third stage is independence, where they've built out their profit, they have built out their team, they have built out their leadership team, all their systems are in place, and the business owner can then travel the world. I'm in New Zealand at the moment on a surf trip with my family and going to see some friends. Beautiful country, by the way. But when you've got your dashboard built out, you just open up your laptop and you can see how well your business is performing. And if there are any issues and challenges, you just make a call to your leadership team. You invariably don't even have to solve the problem. They do. But at that point, you are free. And if you want to sell your business at some point, you'll get a lot of money for it, because investors don't pay a lot of money for businesses that will give them a job. They pay a lot of money for businesses that run independently of them, that can have even more tweaking to make more greater levels of profitability in that business. But, and this is where we're getting to with today's show, I'm probably going to do a few shows on this, it's the psychological blocks that stop business owners from building that type of business. Because as I said, the strategies are easy, but the mindset's not. And typically the mindset's not because of a whole bunch of factors. And the first one, I'm not going to go into this because I've spoken about this in so many podcasts, is how we're all trained through the schooling system to be a resource, to be doers, rather than allocators and controllers of resources. So Our school system, our education system sets us up to be workers. Your entire training through your school system is not to be an entrepreneur or an investor controlling resources, it's to be a resource in someone else's money-making machine. So again, as I said, I've spoken lots about that. I won't do that so much in today's podcast, in today's show. What we will do is we'll start to dig into the different levels of limitation or psychological self-sabotage that I would often see working with our clients. And just quickly before we get into this, I'm effective strategically. Obviously, our clients come to us and we help them develop really good quality strategies to build themselves out of the business. But again, I also have a very core gift and skill that's very helpful to my clients, and we know of no one else in the world that has this ability. And that is, I just got to look at a client and I can tell their psychological blocks to building a successful business within 2 seconds of seeing them and meeting them and having a chat to them. I have an ability to read what we call the unconscious level of a person's operating system, and I can see what they can't see about themselves, but it's sabotaging and limiting them. So I'm a very powerful ally to clients that really want to do some amazing work, because when they work with normal coaches or consultants or business gurus, those coaches and consultants and business gurus are operating blind because they can't see the psychological sabotages or limitations in their clients. And as I said, it's the psychological sabotages and limitations that will always undermine. It's easy to get the knowledge. So there are about 4 different layers of limitation in the human psyche, or areas of the psyche that will undermine or limit a business owner, and when worked on will support their ability to build a business that runs independently of them. So we can basically look first at thinking. So a lot of people's thinking or their logical limitations stop them from being able to build a business that runs effectively without them. So thinking and logic is all about knowledge. They just don't have the knowledge. And again, as I said before, that's fairly easy to give a client to upgrade their intellectual ability to build a business that runs independently of them. The second level of limitation or strength or sabotage, depending on how that person operates, is on the level of the personality. We all have different personality styles, and different personality styles have strengths and weaknesses. And when you get really good at this work, you understand that you need to build a team out with very diverse personality styles, because they've all got different strengths and weaknesses. So if you only employ people like you, your business is going to mirror your weaknesses, because everyone on your team, like you, will have your weaknesses. And it's surprising, but so many business owners employ people that they like, not understanding that they're just employing people with their weaknesses. So I'll just give you a quick example of this, of how our personalities can sabotage. So I'm working with some people at the moment that have what we call the trailblazer personality style. And if you want to know what your personality style is, by the way, just go to www.businessdnaindicator.com. That's www.businessdnaindicator.com, and do my entrepreneurial profiling system. It'll tell you your strengths and weaknesses. So trailblazers, and I'm a trailblazer in the profiling system. Trailblazers are very pioneering, meaning, we'll go climb that mountain. We'll go sail the boat around the world. We will take on the risk of building businesses. And so one of our strengths is an ability to take risks. But that also falls into our weakness profile. So sometimes we don't analyze risk effectively. Years ago, I was employed to fire people, because if you're a trailblazer, you never like firing people, but you can. You can do the tough things in the tough times that others won't, because it makes them so emotionally comfortable. Trailblazers tend to be bullish, meaning they have lots of ideas, but oftentimes don't pay enough attention to detail. And so the clients that I'm working with at the moment, because they're trailblazers, they've got lots of ideas, but they don't have enough team or even knowledge at this point to understand that ideas are easy. Implementation takes planning. It takes project management. It takes high level or very, not just high level, but very detailed abilities to organise. And so as an example, you know, some of you watching this, you'll fall into that profile. Lots of ideas, you'll be a rush person. Yep, we're going to do this, without really sitting down and analysing and thinking about it. So that's a sabotage in many ways to building a business that runs independently of you. And you can take the opposite polarity, and I'm just touching these as just going to go over these quickly. I'm not going to go into them in detail. I'm just giving you an idea of the layers of sabotage. Another polarity to the trailblazer is a person we call the evaluator. Now, evaluators are the opposite. They're in many ways scaredy cats, and I don't mean that even in a negative way. You'll see why in a second, where the trailblazer sort of just jumps into risk and loves it and loves the challenge and loves to be involved with risky things. The evaluator can't stand risk and can't stand uncertainty. And so when they're making a decision, they really think about it, and they're really careful, and they go and study and they check all the facts, and then they'll go back and study again and check the facts. They just don't want to make a mistake. Now, again, where their limitation comes in is sometimes you can never have enough information, right? There's no information that's going to help you avoid uncertainty or risk. So they have what we call paralysis by analysis. They don't make decisions quick enough. They don't make bold decisions. They have paralysis by analysis. It's like, well, if I don't know, I'm unsure, I just won't make the decision. So as you can see, here's two completely different personality styles with two completely different sets of limiting factors in regards to building a business that runs independently of them. Just bear with me, I'm just going to turn this engine on. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise, but I'm boiling in here in this start of a New Zealand summer. And I'm now about to get the fan going. It's the fan that will make the noise. So again, if you take these two profiles, you can see that actually working together, you've almost got the perfect team. So the trailblazer can come up with the ideas quickly. The evaluator would double check it and come back to the trailblazer and say, hey, I think this is where it's a bit risky. And then the trailblazer can use their quick thinking mind and go, okay, well, yeah, maybe you're right, we'll try this, that will solve the risk factor of that strategy. And the evaluator again will go away and think about it and come back and go, yes, you're right, or I don't agree with you because of. And when you've got an evaluator and a trailblazer working together, they can make really, really good teams and take out the limiting factor of each other's weaknesses from the perspective of building a business that runs independently of you. So you can see, let's just go through this. So you've got just clear logical thinking. People often don't know the right knowledge to build a business that runs independently of them. Secondly, we're talking about personality styles. All our personality styles have strengths and weaknesses. So that's two levels of sabotage. The third one is emotions. Again, a lot of people who are building businesses are way too emotional. And there's a bit of a reason for that. I mean, building a business is probably the greatest personal development program on earth. Think about it. You know, business is a feedback machine. It shows you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. If you can't serve your clients properly, you're getting feedback. You're not skilled enough. If you're not making enough money, you're getting feedback that you're not skilled enough, or that you're not good enough at marketing, or it's just a constant feedback machine. And so you've got no other option, if you want to be successful in business, to quickly own when the feedback's not quality, and feedback's just results, by the way, that doesn't mean necessarily client feedback, just results. You've got to be able to own really quickly, well, I don't know enough, I better go learn some more, or I'm no good in this area, I better bring someone else in that can help me in that area. Because, as I said, it's the greatest personal development course on the planet, because when you make mistakes, you pay through it through your own pocket, and when you do well, you reap the rewards in your own pocket. So therefore, there's a lot of stress, a lot more stress than maybe if you've got a job, where if you make a mistake, you don't pay for the mistake. So it's also a challenge, because you're again, most business owners know very little about team, or the psychology of building a team, or how people operate. So they've got people stresses. By the way, if you're watching this, come and join me in my Ignite Business Mastery program. Just flick us through an email to perry@perrymardon.com. Message me on Facebook. Come and work with us. It's going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in poor mistakes. We've got a roadmap that you follow that will help you build a business that runs independently of you. And if you work with us, you'll just see it just makes such a huge and massive difference. But anyway, back to this. So again, business owners don't know about people. So that causes them stress. And when people are stressed, they get emotionally reactive, and they stop thinking strategically or effectively. And so their emotions of self-doubt, fear, corrupt their ability to think effectively. Just so you know, those stresses trigger the amygdala, which is part of the flight or fight response. That triggers your adrenals. When that's happening all the time because of your stress levels, you'll get run down. You'll start to head to burnout, and your decisions won't be particularly effective, because building a business is a game of logic. Building a business that runs independently is certainly a game of logic. Excuse me. So you can see now there's this third layer, which is emotion. And then we go deeper and we go to the fourth layer. And the fourth layer is typically your belief systems. Now, belief systems, you don't even know your belief systems. So we talk about conscious belief systems, and conscious belief systems are belief systems that you know about, but most people don't know anything about their belief system. So just to give you an example of this, if someone has a belief system that says, oh, people don't support me, people betray me, well, you're not going to build a business that runs independently of you, because that belief system will ensure that you are involved with behaviors, because behaviors and emotions are driven by belief systems. So if I have a belief system that I can't trust people to support me, or people are going to betray me, and for the most part, those of you listening or watching this don't even know you've got these belief systems, because they're unconscious, meaning they're not inside of your conscious awareness. So they're pulling the strings of your psychology without you even knowing it. And this is why we are really important to our clients, because we help our clients see these unconscious belief systems, as well as giving them all the technical knowledge. So again, with that belief system, oh, people betray me, or I can't trust people to support me, I will have a negative stance to people mostly. I will micromanage them. I will be a control freak. You can't be a micromanager and control freak and build a business that runs independently. And you can't be a control freak and a micromanager without upsetting the good quality people who can support you. So you'll have money beliefs. You might be going, oh, I don't deserve money on the unconscious level. And a lot of this stuff comes from childhood, by the way. And if you've got a belief system that says, I don't deserve, then I can guarantee that you will be involved with behaviours that push wealth away. And you won't even see it. You won't even know it. You're blind to it. And this is why building a business that runs independently of you requires self-mastery, because you have to clean up all those levels. and you've got to get them working for you. By the way, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work with this over this coming period in my Facebook group called Fire Yourself. I'm going to be doing some live casts. I'm going to be working with people to help them see their psychological blocks to building a business that runs independently of them. So to join that Facebook group, just go to my website at perrymardon.com and you'll see a link to it there. But we're going to be doing a bit of work around that just within that Facebook group over the next little while. I'm going to do a few more shows and podcasts on it, so go check it out. But that should get you thinking and get you prepared, and use this time over the Christmas period, Christmas New Year period, to just do some deep work and start to see some of your psychological blocks and patterns that undermine the effective implementations of the strategies required to build yourself out of your business. Anyway, I hope you get a lot from that, and I will see you in next week's show. And again, don't be shy. I don't bite. PM me, send me an email, go to my website, book in for a strategy session. I'll work with you, help you, I'll get you on track. Anyway, this is a beautiful day out here in a very beautiful country, so I'm going to go and have some fun. Catch ya.